Hello, my name is Joe Morell. I'm a program manager at Telligent. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the REST API and how you can turn it on and get a basic idea of what it's able to do. This is in no way meant to be a developer's guide to our REST endpoints. And if you don't know what I mean by REST endpoints, this probably also isn't the quick tip for you. But here's some common pointers that you need to remember that a lot of people forget when they first start looking into our REST API. First, you're going to want to make sure that the REST API is activated, which it is not by default. To do this, go to the control panel, click on Site Administration, Site Configuration, Setup, Manage REST API, and make sure it's set to yes and that you save your changes. Next, you're also going to need to generate an API key from most calls. To do this, go ahead and click on your user settings. It's best to do as an administrator. Go to Site Options, and at the bottom here you'll see My API Keys. This link will lead you to a page that allows you to generate API keys. Okay, so that's the background. Both of those are things that people often forget, and I hope that that'll save you a little bit of time. The other nice tidbit is our REST Debug Console. So I'm going to flip over here, and to navigate to this console, which basically allows you to look at REST endpoint URLs and see what the XML is that you're going to get back for them. You're going to want to navigate to your site's base name there, /api.ashx/v2/!console. Yes, it's a little difficult, it's a little buried. We don't necessarily want people hitting this on accident. The other thing that you're going to want to do when you first navigate to that page is you'll see that the endpoint URL that starts the request here is directing to localhost, which /cs, which will likely not work for many of you. So you're going to want to go ahead and change that to your site space URL. From here, you can use the documentation that's located on Telligent.com's developer space. You'll see here that I'm looking at the V2 REST API documentation. And this gives you a really good idea of what is available inside of our REST API. And to go ahead and test a call, all you need to do is type in an endpoint, click on Send Request, and if the request was successful, you'll get a green bar, and you'll get the XML back of that request. You also have the ability to change this from XML to JSON. There's the JSON request back. You can see also that if for certain calls, they're not all GET, you can do posts, puts, and deletes as well, and some of those are going to require sending your credentials over. The other thing that's nice about this is this will give you an idea if you have typos in your URLs, and I like to use this console to help basically make sure and spell check my code. So if you didn't type this in correctly, you'll see that you get a 404 error, and it'll give you an idea of why that went wrong. And from there, and you don't need a slash at the end. From there, one of my favorite pastimes is to go through, use one of the IDs that's generated there, and you can continue. This is a fully RESTful API, so you can continue to surf in and find out more and more information on what's available through this API to be able to call back. Definitely a power user feature and something that developers would like to know about. For more quick tips, please check out Telligent.com/quicktips.